hamstring. You got the fancy camera.
My old one.
I'm still. Is that the? Oh, okay. Wait. So you got a new one from last time? The one you've been taking the pictures with? Man. How do I sound?
You sound good.
All right. Cool.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. It sound here. Tap it real quick. I'll see if I could. I don't think it's on. There you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
What up, though, man?
Sure. I'm chilling, man. What's up with you?
Not much, man. I'm just been trying to upgrade, trying to get like you a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, man. Nah, man. I just been chilling.
How's the fam?
Oh man, we straight, man. We straight, just kind of, laying low, doing doing our normal thing. Kids doing school, baseball done started back, so just carrying on, man.
I see you got one of them in Taekwondo now.
Yeah, my youngest one do Taekwondo. It's crazy, man. He been a fighter like his whole life, man. It's all like he watched Rocky movies every single day, Creed, anything that got to do with fighting, punching. I mean, man, him probably box 3 or 4 times a week. He just want to fight all the time. That's all he want to do. So we put him in Taekwondo. He been killing it.
Is that's the youngest one, right?
Yeah.
Is he beating up his older brother yet or no?
Oh man, I get complaints all the time from crying coming in. Quin punched him and kicked him and all types of stuff. They go easy on him because he's way younger than them, but he don't back down, man. He don't back down.
What's the age difference?
I got 11-year-old and a 9-year-old, and then Quinny's 5.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So he doing the damn thing. We got some. We're live right now too. Actually, I don't know if I posted it, but I was trying to get like you, man. I see when you doing the stuff with Calvin and Darius and all them.
Yeah.
I mean, you see, we got some people commenting too. Hold on one sec. Let's see. Someone said GQ in the building. Quin in the building. Detroit, always love you, bro. Much respect for your time in Detroit. Liddy Mob in the building. But man, it's funny because I hit you up to talk Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
But then the world just like shattered for Detroit fans. Not shattered, but it's just some.
How did it shatter? I mean,
it is shattered.
Y'all knew this was gonna happen. I mean, you guys had the warning, so y'all should have been braced for impact.
Yeah, I don't know. You were one of the advocates of like letting him go and choose where he went. Are you happy with the destination, like where he landed?
I mean, it don't really have to do with me. I was just kind of speaking, from a player standpoint. Stafford's happy. I mean, who wouldn't be happy getting to go to LA? So I'm sure he's happy. He's going to a good situation, good team, and from everything I've seen, seemed like he had some input in where he went. So seemed like it worked out good for him, and that's really all I was concerned about. As long as it worked out good for him, because when you're in a situation, man, where they're trading you, I mean, I guess I was saying that Stafford was nixing certain things and this and that, so it seemed like they did good by keeping him in the loop and trying to work out something that was best for both. But sometimes you get these teams, man, these coaches, these GMs, and it's really about what's best for us, and I mean, if the worst team in the league is offering us the most stuff, then that's where you got to go. And I just didn't. I didn't want that for Stafford. I didn't feel like that would have been like cool. Um, so that's why I said something.
Yeah. Did you get to talk to him at all?
I messaged him a couple times, but I try not to blow people, especially during the time, because I know. I mean, you're Stafford. You were the face of a franchise for 12 years. You probably got a whole lot of stuff going on when you get traded from Detroit to LA, and and the biggest trade going on right now in football. So I'm sure he's getting hit up left and right. So I try not to call people and talk to him during those times. I just send him a quick message, congratulations, and you know he hit me back. So I'll catch up with him at some point.
He
I
hit you
try.
back. He said, "Finally." No.
Nah, man, he didn't. He didn't. He was cool with it. That's Stafford. I'm gonna see if I can get him on. I might bring the DB room back and see if I can get him on. Maybe he won't be as political this time. Say some of the things that maybe he really feels.
Hey, if you're talking like that, I for sure would love to hear some of that, man. I saw it too. There's reports coming out. You never really know like what's true or not because like it's never direct, right? But they said that he was hoping to be traded to damn near any team except for the Patriots, and I was like, damn, man, because yeah. What you
Yeah,
about to
I
say, my
mean,
bad?
well, I'm just like I wouldn't, coming. I mean, especially the fact that Matt Patricia, I think, went back to New England. Right.
Yeah,
I thought he got some type of job back with New England. And coming from that situation for the last 3 years for Stafford, been kind of ran by New England way or whatever, I wouldn't want to go there either. Especially if I had options, bump that. And when you're Stafford and you've made as much money as Stafford has made, you got options now. You know, Sometimes you have to take what you can get, but when you got options, you don't have to settle. I mean, if they would have tried to send him there, he probably could have put a grunk, right? Now I'm retiring. Bump that.
yeah,
So he didn't want to go to New England. I wouldn't want to go to New England. So they sent him clear on the other side of the country to LA. So I think it'd be good for Stafford, though. I think it'd be good. Be interesting to see how he handles, LA life, because I mean, I think what we've all seen from Stafford has been the laid back, um, reserved, you know, Detroit Lions quarterback. And now you go from that to the LA Rams quarterback. Huge market, huge media market, huge profile, a lot of celebrities, star power. So it'd be good for Stafford.
yeah. I mean, I think it was ended up like good for both teams. I was kind of surprised with the haul. If I'm being honest, I was like, that was a lot.
Yeah, I mean, the Rams gave up a lot, but when you look at what the Rams did, I was telling one of my friends, I was like, the Rams, they're probably thinking, we got 1 or 2 years left in our window, because you kind of go through phases, in the league, and some organizations can stay on top for a long time, um, but a lot of times you have like a 2 or 3 year window where you got enough good players, um, you got enough cap space, you got enough to like keep my team. And you looking at the Rams, you probably say, they got another 2 or 3 2 year window, and you look at Stafford's deal, he got 2 years left on it. So in their mind, they probably was like, okay, hey, we like where our team is at right now. And far as money wise, we should be good for the next 2 years or at least this year. So we got to win right now. So if we gotta go all in to get a quarterback to help us win right now, we'll do that. And then those picks that we gave up, won't hurt us back because at least we got a championship and now we can start the rebuilding process.
Yeah, I feel that way too because a lot of people when I ask like who won in the situation, and I feel like it's kind of situational. You know what I'm saying? Like they're close to a Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? And if that's what they get out of it, then they absolutely won. But at the same time, we're in a situation where it's like kind of been in this situation, but we need pieces, man. We need to rebuild. We need rookie deals and stuff like that. So,
And I mean, the thing about it, picks are good. It's about making good picks. So it's really about identifying, what type of team we want to be, who do we need, who do we have, and how we're going to build our team. You can have all the first round picks that you want if you don't build the right team, then it's not going to work out for you. And a lot of times it don't take, like, first rounders are different than, like, fourth through seventh rounders. First rounders and second round, those guys are different because they are drafted really high. So a lot of times those guys are high profile players. A lot of times those guys are, high ego players. And a lot of times you run into with those guys, you have no other choice but to go where you're drafted, right? For the most part.
mhm.
And so I think I said this in, another podcast that I had done, maybe on one of my shows, late earlier. I had said that, I think it was around Calvin. I was like, I don't know if anybody sits in their home on draft day, wishing and begging that the Detroit Lions called them. Yes, are you excited that you get drafted and you're excited that you get an opportunity to play at the next level? Of course. But unless you're from Detroit, you're probably not sitting there like, man, I hope the Lions call me, right? And so what happens is you run into guys that, if the organization doesn't start to, you know, do things the right way and create a different culture there, you draft these guys in the first round, but then they're looking to leave as soon as their rookie contract is up, you know. And unless they come in as studs, you lose your first year, maybe your second year, because they're developing, and then you get them for 2 years maybe, and you pick up their fifth, and then all of a sudden they're trying to leave town. So I think, organizationally, they got to revamp some things, head coaching wise. I don't know a lot about Dan Campbell, but he's been around some good organizations. Played for Detroit, so he probably feels real good coming back. And I like Aaron Glenn. I know Aaron Glenn from Houston, so I like him. How he's gonna be as a D coordinator, I don't know. But I know he did some good things in New Orleans with that group down there. So hopefully it's a good situation. You know what I'm saying? I got nothing but love for the D, but for me, I do feel like I gotta keep it. I gotta keep it 100. So if I feel like they balling and they doing things the right way, I'm a voice my opinion. And if I feel like they're not, then I'm gonna voice that too.
Yeah, and I feel the same way.
Yeah.
People sometimes they'll come out here with the hating comments because like I'm keeping it real. Like like certain
Yeah.
situations is you want me to come out here with like puppet hands and stuff like that, and like
Right.
like tell you lies. Like
Nah.
it's
I'm gonna tell you the facts. This is what it is. If you like it, cool. If you don't, that's cool too. But this is the truth. This is what it is. And so that's kind of how it's been for me. And I've probably you know got in trouble a couple of times just for doing that. But hey, man, it is what it is.
ain't no trouble, man. Ain't no trouble.
Hey, man, shout out to the fans, man. I appreciate you guys, man.
Nah, for sure. But hey, man, we appreciate you, man. You were in my lifetime because we had Dre Bly, but I was younger back then. In my lifetime, is you and Slay were the first time that we actually had like a backfield. I know Delmas was there too, popping people, but you guys were like making plays. You know what I'm saying? Like picking up the ball, and I mean, you
Right.
led the damn league that one year.
Yeah, and that's the difference. That was the difference in me and Lou. Like Lou was a fiery player. Um, but I think at some point, the fans, they love to see, guys get hit. But it's something about taking the ball away. You know what I'm
That's
saying? And
nah,
like
that's what I like.
that was a difference in me and Lou. Like, if Lou had opportunity to get a hit or a pick, Lou was going for the hit. I was going for the pick. I want the ball. I want the ball. I don't, I didn't really care, about, you know, big hits. I wanted to try to make good tackles, you know, take the big hits when I had them. But if it was up in the air, I wanted the ball. And that's what I used to tell those guys, cuz I didn't blitz a lot when I was in Detroit. And a lot of times they would call blitzes, and I would let the other safety go, because some of the other safety, the stronger safeties, they like blitzing. They like to play up in the box, be Jamal Adams type, blitzing and getting sacks. And I used to just always tell those guys, like, man, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. They don't pay me to sack the quarterback. They're just being honest with you. They pay Ziggy, they pay, Sue. They pay those guys to sack the quarterback, man. So I I don't. I mean, if I come out of a season, I got 4 sacks. They're not gonna be talking about, man, you had a great year. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need to come out the season having 4 or 5 picks, 5, 6, 7 picks. So I was always about trying to get the ball, man. And I think that rubbed off. We had a really good group. Slay turned the ball over. Quandre. Um, I mean, we had a real good group. I think I remember in 14. I think I had 7 picks that year. I think James Ahedibo might have had 4 picks that year. I think Slade came in with around 2. I mean, we had a ton of picks that year. Um, I think Levy had some picks that year.
Man, he was getting on like cleaning them
Shoot,
up.
yeah.
Levy was, man.
Man, Levy was catching them for a linebacker. Man, I think one year he had like 6 picks. Might
He
have
had a
been in
couple.
2013. He had like 6 picks. My first
Yeah,
year
I was tripping, man. And then
there. Yeah.
what didn't he hurt his hip doing this all that crazy stuff he was messing with in the off season?
Man, he did something, man. I think he hurt his hip. He had some kind of issue going on with it. And then I think we were out scrimmaging or getting ready to scrimmage somebody. We were scrimmaging ourselves actually, but we were at a high school out in like Bloomfield or somewhere out there. And he couldn't go, man. He hurt his hip. He was just like, man, I can't run. And like that was kind of like the whole year seemed like it was always like something going on if I can remember correctly. And
Nah,
then
yeah.
all of a sudden it was just it. It was like, and then he started spending more time diving into different things. He got big into the CTE stuff and the concussion stuff. And I think when he got released from Detroit, I don't know if he even signed with anybody else or even tried to pick up with anybody else.
I don't think he did either. I'm thinking about it.
I actually talked to him at one like a little bit. Heck, when I was doing my show, I actually talked to him because I was gonna get him on, and he was in school. He had told me once he finished the semester he would come on the show, but I took a little break. So
Yeah, I've been waiting, man. I'm like, what's GQ dropping on us next?
hey man, it's I took a break, man. Freaking hey, bro. That stuff is a lot, man. I mean, I have
Yeah,
I love this part of it, and I think, for me, if I would need to create me a whole team, to help run everything, man, because it just became tiring, and I never wanted it to become or feel like a job to me,
yeah,
and so when you're trying to do it all, and when I say do it all, I mean like you're trying to book the guys, so you're trying to reach out to everybody, work with schedules, get that stuff figured out. And then once you do that, now you got to try to do all the social media stuff to promote it. You got to try to put the show together, things you want to talk about, doing the IG, doing the all that stuff. And then you put the show together, you do the show, and then now you got to come back and edit the show or put out clips of the show, more social media stuff, all the while trying to find the next guest for the next week and this and that. And like I said, it became very tiring. I was tired. I felt like I was, you know, working hard. I was working a lot. I was trying to do these videos. I was still
it's a lot.
putting up, I was still just putting up, football videos on my channel. And then once the season got started, once training camp started, it was like, okay, I want to give players time to adjust. Obviously, we had, different type of training camp, a lot of Zoom stuff, a lot of virtual stuff, and then, once they start going back in the building, getting COVID tested every single day and this and that. And so I kind of wanted to give them a little break. And then in doing it, I said, I'm gonna take a break too. And then once I took a break, I just felt great, man. Like I was like, man, okay, well, you know what? I might just let them go through the season, because the thing that I didn't want to like try to compete or turn into like NFL Network or ESPN. So I didn't want to be up every week, feeling like I had to talk about all the games, feeling like I had to, give my picks and, give my like I didn't want to do that. That wasn't the reason why I started my channel. That wasn't some of the things that I wanted to do. I just wanted to engage with the fans, teach a little football, talk to different players, get to know different people. It was kind of bigger than like just what's going on in today's world of football. In my opinion, I wanted it to be more long term, and so I kind of felt like the interviews and stuff that I like to do is just kind of sit back and get to know players. I wanted to say that more for the off season. During the season, people, they want to know what's going on right now for the season. Like, hey, are you playing this week? What do you think about this team? What do you think about this? Like, what do you think is going on here? Like how, like that's what people want to know about during the season. I think it's the off season time when, you kind of sit back and be interested in other things. Um, so yeah, I took a break, man, and I've been having people hit me up trying to get it back going, and like I say, man, I gotta muster up the energy, man, to do it.
Do you miss it at all?
Like I said, I love talking to people. You
Mhm.
know, I love to talk to people, especially when they're interesting. I love to talk to people and hear different stories. But so yeah, I do miss that part of it. But
Yeah,
I don't miss having to like try to hunt guys down,
bro. The
because
social media, bro, is the biggest pain in the ass for me, man. It's because I'm busy trying to hunt guys down and shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to like be
right,
on here. Hey guys, like,
right, and,
yeah,
and for me, I'm like, man, I'm not trying to be like hitting guys up 4 or 5 times, because like I said, I kind of know how it is, right? There's times where I might get something in my messages or whatever, somebody asking for a podcast, and I just don't feel like doing it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I saw the message, but I didn't even respond. I didn't even like, and so next thing you know, they want to hit you back, like, hey man, and it's just like, bro. And so I know how it is. And so I don't be wanting to hit those guys up, especially on a personal line, and be like, hey, yo, you want to come on the show? And then
yeah.
they don't respond because I know they saw it. I know you saw it, bro. And then I got to hit you back, like, hey, man, I hit you the other day. Like, so, yeah, I didn't miss doing that. But like I said, we trying to, my, my PR guy trying to get me to get back in it, man. So I'm gonna try to get in, man. I might do a quarterback series, man. Where I, try to
I,
talk to like Stafford. I want to talk to Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers. Some of the quarterbacks in the league, especially since I was a DB. Just talk some football, talk some, some different things. So I kind of want to do that. Do a little quarterback series, a little bit. Talk to some of those guys. So we'll see, man.
I was just gonna ask you because I wanted to ask you in the chat too, but I was hoping like can we get some film breakdown on Jared Goff? Can we get something like that?
You know what, man? I love doing film breakdown, man. The thing that I ran into with that was, for some reason I couldn't get access to like the footage, right? So I had reached out to the NFL, and I just kind of told them what I was trying to do, you know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
And the NFL got all these stickler rules with footage, and they're very particular who they give licensing rights to or whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Costs a lot of money, and I'm just sitting there like, man, that kind of rubbed me the wrong way because I'm like,
Played for the
I'm
league.
I'm not right. I'm like, I'm not sitting here trying to take you guys' footage and make a mockery out of the league, try to sell you guys footage to do it. Like, I'm literally trying to help advance your game. I want to use the plays that your guys are making on Sundays to highlight and talk about how they're making these plays because I feel like if people know more about the game, they can make it more interesting to watch. Right. So I'm like, I'm trying to advance your game. I'm trying to give knowledge and understanding to the younger people, to anybody that wants to listen. And you're hounding me over a clip. Like, I just need one, like a couple clips. Like, is it that big of a deal? But I guess it is. So, you know,
I I'll get them for you, man. I get the bootleg ones.
so that was the thing for me. Um, is having access to the good film to be able to show stuff. And I've seen guys do different things, like they may just be recording straight off the TV. You know what I'm saying? When they watching games, and that's cool. Like I ain't got nothing against that. If that works for you. That just wasn't what I was trying to do. Because honestly, for me, bro, I don't even really watch that much football throughout the season, man.
For
I
real?
nah. Nah, and that's why I said that's why I didn't want to get into trying to compete because I didn't want to feel like I had to try to watch every game every Sunday so I can know everything about everything that's going on so I can tell you why this kid's not doing this or like I didn't want to have to do that. There's times, on Sundays that so my family we don't want to watch football. My wife watched a lot of games in 10 years. My kids, they went to a lot of games over the years and so sometimes we have other things that we're doing on a Monday night or a Sunday or whatever. So, um, I was very rarely like, nah, we sitting down, I'm watching these games. It was kind of like, if we ain't got nothing to do, I'll peep and see who's playing and see what's on and check it out. But I never cancel plans just to watch some games, man. So, but I caught a lot of games this year. It's a lot easier with COVID, having to kind of stay inside and check out some games. But yeah, man, I just be chilling, man. Like I
Not
don't
for
know,
you, man.
man. I just be doing my own thing, man. Doing what I can with my kids and having a good time. And I tell people all the time, bro. Like I feel like when I played in the NFL, I feel like it was all a dream, man. It just like I sit back and I look now and I'm just like, man, it seems so long ago, like a whole different life that I played in the NFL. That's like when I see pictures, I'm like, wow, I played in the league for a long time. Dang. It just seemed like a totally different world, man. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Not it's a lot to consume, especially because like you got the commercials too. Like it's really long, man. But from since he is our quarterback, I do want to ask you because I know you did do like film study. How many times did you play golf actually?
I think I only played them once, I think.
Was that his rookie year?
Whatever year they came to Detroit,
Yeah, I
that
think it
would
was
have
his rookie year.
been
Or maybe not.
nah, because we played them in let me see, my last year in Detroit. Did we play them? Yeah, because I remember playing Seattle. Yeah, I think we played them my last year in Detroit. But I think we might have played them the year before as well. So I might have played them twice.
What's your take on him and his skills and
I
good
mean,
and bad? You know,
for Jared Goff, I think one of the times that I played them, they were in their stride, and a lot of times it's hard to get a good take on a quarterback when they're in a certain system. And so they had a good system going with Sean McVay, good mixture of play action, good run game. He had Todd Gurley at the time. Um, you know, when you can do stuff like that, it's hard to get a good read on exactly how good a quarterback is because a lot of times they're not really asked to do that much. You know what I'm saying? It's
no,
not
yeah, I feel
it's
you.
not it's not hard for those guys to hit wide open targets because you build up on the play action. You know what I'm saying? You're hitting crossing routes. Your defense is playing well, so you're not being asked to do a lot. I think we really evaluate those quarterbacks who are, thrust into situations where they're having to pass the ball 30, 40 times a game, and they literally doing everything for the offense. When you got guys like Jared Goff who wasn't really asked to do as much, he comes across as a very viable option as a quarterback. But how much of that was the scheme that he was playing in?
Yeah.
Is he the same guy when he's putting the shotgun and he's asked to stare at the defense and make a throw 30 times a game? Or, do the lines change their offense and say, hey, we're going to go more traditional and do what Jared Goff has done in the past and run the ball, play action? You know, Dan Campbell was a tight end, so a lot of times, he may be like, I want to go multiple tight end sets. I want to, you know, bring some big boys in and run the ball and do those type of things because that's what tight ends like, right? So,
Hmm.
be interesting to see what they do offensively and how they try to use Golf. I think if they use him in that role, in that capacity, I think he'll be fine. But I don't know, if they try to just run a generic spread offense and have him just pick the defense apart. I don't know if that's his strong suit, but it may be. I don't know.
No, I agree. I was watching a little bit of tape, but it's the highlight tape. You know what I'm saying? It's always like the best throws. You don't get to see the ones he missing or, you know, it, and a lot of it was like short, like dink and dunks type stuff. And I never want to disrespect anybody who obviously played professionally, but I mean, you and I kind of had the conversation before. I mean, you just said it actually. It just depends what kind of role the quarterback has in that offense. Like
Right. And so
Tom
and that's
Brady,
and that's
shit.
what it's gonna come down to. Yeah. I mean, you look at a lot of these guys, man. They always have the question of, is it scheme? Is it player? And they might even say, is it coach? Is it player? And I'm the type of person where it's like I feel like it's a mixture of both. You get a good player in a good system, he's probably gonna be a great player. You get a good player in a bad system, he's probably gonna be an okay player.
Yeah.
You get a good player and a good coach, you're probably gonna have a good tandem. You get a good player and an okay coach, probably gonna have an okay player. And that's really how I feel. Certain systems, guys just play better in certain systems. What depending on what they're asked to do. And then sometimes you have these teams, these coaches that see a guy in the system doing certain things and like his ability, but then put him in a totally different system where he's not doing the things that you liked, and it don't work out. You see it all the time. Guys leave one team where they thrived, go to another team, and they seem like totally different players. And you've seen it the opposite, where guys are on certain teams and they can't even play, and then they go to another team, and it's like, I mean, case in point, I mean, you look at Kyle Van Noy, right?
That's exactly what went to my mind when you said that.
Kyle
Exactly what went
Van
to my
Noy
mind.
was in Detroit, and they was almost running him out of town because he couldn't get done in that system what they wanted him to do, right? Gets traded to New England, and he turns into this totally different player that you're looking at like, man, Detroit just let this guy leave. He's making sacks, he's
I
picks,
know.
making plays,
Stop
and
reminding me. No, I'm playing.
the guys are always like, man, Detroit just let that guy go. Well, it wasn't that he just didn't fit the system of what Detroit was doing at the time. And Kyle was younger. He was only in his like first or second year. So he was young and he just didn't fit the system of what TA was doing. And he just needed a different role. That's just how it
Yeah.
be sometimes. Happens all the time.
No, it does for sure. Because like I thought I was really high on Tracy Walker as a player, and then the Patricia regime came in, and it's like he got minimized and like his abilities and what he could do.
hmm That happens. That happens, man. You get like it happens, bro. It happens. And, I talked to Tracy a lot this year, and, some of the stuff, I thought Tracy had some good ability. I thought Tracy could do some things, but, the thing that I know is if you don't have a great room, it's hard to develop younger guys, you know. And I think you
Yeah,
look at the room that, Slay grew up in, Quandre grew up in. You look at a lot of those guys, even Nevin Lawson, he's still playing. You look at a lot of those guys, the room that they grew up in was great for the development of young talent. Tracy Walker didn't grow up in a room like that, right?
yeah.
I mean, Tracy Walker has kind of been supposed to
Been
be
the
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 leader
guy.
in the
Yeah,
room, right? But who taught Tracy? I mean, I was only there with Tracy for 1 year, you
yeah,
know, and then I left, then Slay left, then Quandre left, and you got all these different people coming in from different places and different, it's different, and so it's gonna take somebody, veteran presence, to change the culture of the room. Because if you remember, in 2014, we had a real strong veteran presence to change the culture in the room. You had myself, you had James Ahedibo, and you had Rasheem Mathis. So we had,
yeah,
12, 13-year vet. We had Diggs, who had won a Super Bowl in Baltimore. He was year 8 or 9 or 10 or something like that. I was in year like 6 and 7. And so we had a good group of workers, family men, like good culture building guys. And Slay benefited from that. Quandre benefited from that. A lot of those guys benefited from that room because it was a lot of knowledge. There was no hating. Everybody was trying to have fun, and everybody was really trying to teach, and develop the younger group, as opposed to, being selfish about it and just thinking about ourselves and what we can do to further our own careers. And so I feel bad for Tracy, man. I hope him and AG click. I think he got 1 year left on his rookie deal. So I hope he can come out and have a good year, man, and make a little money. Or, I mean, it's sad to say it for Detroit, but leave and have to go somewhere else. So
yeah.
it happens.
No, I understand it because, like, even with KG, with Kenny Galladay, and I know he may be looking to try to come back or whatnot, but like he was hurt towards the end of the year. It was, a bad season, a bad coach, a guy who literally drove out all those leaders and yourself, Darius. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy. And he had to get his bread. You know what I'm saying? I was like, if I was KG, I'm probably, if you're, if you're not fully healthy, why come back and risk it on a contract year, man?
Yeah, I mean, and like coaches that want total control, that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna push out all the guys with voices to get in a bunch of guys who just gonna listen to what I say, do what I say, yada yada yada.
Mm,
And sometimes that's good, you know. Um, but you need veteran leaders in the locker room to help develop your younger players, because coaches don't get to spend that much time with you. They spend time with you at practice, but you're at practice, so they got a lot of other stuff going on. Spend a little time in meetings, but you're in meetings, so you got other stuff going on. A lot of the development happens in the locker room where you're hanging out as players and you're just talking. You're sitting down after practice and you're talking, sitting down before practice and you're talking. You get there in the morning and you're talking. You know, that's when a lot of the work goes in. And, I remember when I first got there in 2013 as a free agent, Martin Mayhew came to me before the draft and he was like, we're thinking about taking, Slay. But if he come in, I'm gonna need you to you know, take him under your wings, yada yada yada, right? And at the time, there was another guy whose locker was right next to mine. And so I told Martin, I said, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. the best way to do that is me and Slay got to be locker mates. Like, I know somebody in this locker right next to me, but we got to move him. And that got to be Slay locker if you really want me to do that, because I know how much time is spent in the locker room talking to the people right next to you.
Hmm.
And if Slay would have been on the opposite end of the locker room, now that's more effort that either me or him has to put in to walk down just to communicate and talk to each other. Right. So I was like, to
Yeah,
avoid that and to make it to where we have to talk and get to know each other, you got to put our lockers right next to each other. And we were locker mates for 6 years. And Slay's one of my best friends to this day. So I think that has a lot to do with it. But a lot of stuff that you see on the field, it carries over from the conversation that you have in the locker room and talking about different things. And so they're gonna have to get some guys to come in to really change that culture on the back end and make it more of a cohesive group. Because if you're not cohesive group on the back end, that's the only other group. You got to be cohesive as a D line and an O line, but you don't really see it as much if you're not cohesive as a back end unit. Because when you're giving up big plays, that's what people notice all the time. You know,
yeah,
they see you giving up big plays. If the D line is not getting that much pressure, they're not really going into how they not really working together on their picks and their stunts and stuff like that. If an O line is giving up a couple sacks, they're not really putting that on the whole group. It's this great rusher beat this guy off the end. He had a good move. But when the secondary is giving up big plays, that's probably talked about way more than D line not getting sacks, just giving up big
yeah.
plays. And so you can't do it on the back end. So you got to be together. And so they're gonna have to get somebody to come in to help do that.
Do you think that that totalitarian culture, that dictatorship almost, I hate to say it that way, with Patricia is like just old school from the '90s and played out in today's generation with players having like social media and stuff like that? Or do you think it was like the delivery of it? Like he just wasn't able to, I guess, what I'm saying, like deliver it or just execute it the right way. You know what I'm
Yeah, I
saying?
don't I don't think he executed it the right way. I think, if you're gonna be that way, you have to gain and earn the respect of your guys. You have to um you have like you have to come in and earn the respect. And sometimes coaches don't feel that they have to earn respect. And to me, that's a high school mentality.
Yeah,
When you're in high school, you're dealing with kids, right? So you coming in as the coach, they're probably gonna respect you anyway because you're the coach, right? When
yeah,
you're in the NFL, you're dealing with grown men. Yeah, we're gonna respect you because you're our coach, but I'm a grown man. Like, if you don't talk to me and in a respectful manner, why would I just bow down and do the same? And I get it. People are like, well, you guys are players. True, we are players, and he's the coach, and we're in this thing together. Because if we do well, he do well, right?
yeah,
And so, I mean, I've said that many a times, and I think, especially nowadays, I think that's why you're seeing a huge influx of these young coaches getting hired, because I think they're feeling like these younger coaches can communicate, they can work with and handle this younger generation. These younger coaches, they're probably into more technology. So that's why you may get Sean McVay dancing in the locker room. Sean Payton has came around, he'd be doing his dances. But you're getting some of these younger things because that's what the league and all this stuff has came to, right? Entertainment, you got your TikToks, you got all that stuff, you know what I'm saying? And when you start looking at these older coaches, I mean, you probably ain't gonna see Bill Belichick on a TikTok video, you know. you're probably not gonna see those things. And so sometimes these younger kids, those older guys, those older coaches be so, stuck in their old ways, have seen so
Yeah,
many like old players that were good and they so judgmental in comparison, well, Lawrence Taylor was like this right here. And, you like, bro, I get it, but that was years ago. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
so I think that's one of the reasons why you're seeing these younger coaches, because they making, identify with some of these young kids, have fun with them, understand what they're doing and how they're doing it with their social media, and be able to rein them in to understand that, hey, that's one side of it, but there's also a side over here where we got to get our work in. We got to be on our stuff, but we can have fun doing so. And so that's kind of my thing on it.
yeah, yeah. I feel like because obviously you hear the things from Belichick. That's how he is a little bit, but he also has the respect of like the championships and success he's had, the
Mhm.
longevity. I feel like, and I'm not in the locker room obviously, but like I felt when Patricia came, he felt he demanded that same respect without the putting in the work, and just
Yeah,
in general too. Like people are more empowered nowadays too. Like you
yeah,
can't talk to him any type of way, especially like you're a whole father, you got kids, like you can't be.
right.
I don't know.
But exactly what you said. He felt like, you know, he was Bill Belichick. Like he had this and that. And I mean, you're gonna start to see it. You're gonna start to see it. That stuff only works. It only works when you're winning.
Hmm.
It only works when you're winning. And when you got a decent system and you got a good coach and a good player, i.e., Belichick, Brady, you can get a lot of things done. And when you can back things up with results, you can get guys to buy in. And they'll come there and be willing to do whatever I got to do, because 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna get an opportunity to go to the Super Bowl. The Patriots
When
didn't do that. The Patriots didn't do that this year, right? So say they
yeah,
don't. So say they don't do that next year and they don't make the playoffs. People are not gonna be running out the door to try to go to New England to do to go to the Super Bowl, right? Because they're not going to the Super Bowl right now. But you've all heard the crazy things that go on in the Patriot way. So if
yeah,
I'm not guaranteed to probably go to the Super Bowl, I don't know how excited I am to run to the Patriot way. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I'm not super excited. Like I said, when I got a chance of winning, yeah, I go deal with it, for a year, give me a Super Bowl, and it is what it is. But if that's not in the cards for me, I'm not running to New England, and I think you're gonna start to see that.
Yeah, juice ain't worth the squeeze.
Mm-mm.
How do you feel with because our staff man is loaded with players right now, like former players. Is there anything to that? I guess you think that's more of them like trying to go away from that culture, or is there anything? I guess is there any concerns with all player coaches, or is it just the same as anybody else?
Well, I mean, I think it's the same with anybody else. I mean, a lot of it is how you start things off, the delivery and the respect. That's really what it is. You know, those guys are coming in new to Detroit. A lot of the players they're gonna bring in gonna be new to Detroit. So when you approach it as that, and we are here working together to try to change the culture, I'm working hard, you guys are working hard, we're working hard together, then you can build a lot of different things. I think one of the things that you can run into when you have player coaches is, can players drop their egos enough to be coaches? Right? Can a player
That's a great
drop their
point.
ego enough to be a coach, or does this player have this huge ego of, I'm such and such, I've played in this league a lot of years, you should just do what I tell you to do? It's the wrong attitude.
Hmm.
Wrong attitude. Right? Yes, you have played, yes, you are respected, but you know how the young guys are. The young guys feel like, man, you played back in the 90s, man.
Yeah,
Y'all was wearing big shoulder pads, man. You didn't play in this game. It's
they had
different.
neck braces.
Right, and so unless you're somebody that was just in it recently, these young guys always feel like they're better, man. You was in the 90s, bro. Y'all ain't have no releases as a defensive back, as a wide receiver. Look at these old releases, right? I mean, that's the stuff that you hear and that's the stuff that you see. And so just because you can tout that you played, unless some major player, you still gonna have to go out and earn the respect of your guys, and that's what you should want. You should want your guys to respect you for who you was as a player, but also for how much work, effort, time, and energy you put into them as a coach. And not just relying on the fact that, oh, I'm such and such, so my kid, them boy, they should like me. They should be lucky that I'm coaching them. Like, you just can't have that mentality. You got to have a workman's mentality that I'm here to try to help you get better. Yes, I got some experiences, things that I can tell you and help you, but I'm here to look at your game and try to help you get better.
Steve said, learn a lot from listening to GQ. He definitely keeps it 100.
I appreciate you, Steve-O.
That's facts, man. That's why I love having you on. And I think you saw it when I posted on my story. Somebody asked me who was I most nervous to speak to, and it was you because bro. I learned so much. And sitting there, I'm like, bro, I'm not ready to talk football with this guy. It's a whole it's a whole nother level. I feel like from when he even talks to football people.
I think the one thing that I try to do, like I said, I have to keep it real, but I like to identify with the fans and let them know, like, some of the ins and outs that goes on in the game. Things that happen. You know, things that you know you see, things that you understand, some things you don't understand. And if nobody ever tells you, then you never know. And so I like to connect with the fans and answer those questions that you know they want to know, because people have those same they're like, man, how does this stuff happen? I still have people, bro, that feels like games are rigged. Like,
Yeah, I can't get
I
with that,
I,
man.
I have people, and I sit here and I'm like, guys, I think you guys are giving us too much credit. Like, how are we that good to say, hey, you know what? On this kick right here, I'm gonna kick it and I'm gonna make sure it hit the right upright and bounce off, and I'm gonna miss it because I know that this other guy is gonna get an interception and return it to the 38, and I'm gonna have another opportunity to hit a 52-yard field goal, and I'm gonna hit that one right down the middle, and everybody's in on it. Like, do y'all really think that stuff happens? I'm like,
I,
it blows my mind. Like, dude, why didn't he just do this? Like, bro, so you think that there's somebody out there that's saying, hey, this is like, who are they just telling one person? Are they telling like all the coaches? Like, is this something that we practice? Hey, we need to practice how we're going to tip this ball up the exact way so that this other guy can come and make the catch and run for a 60-yard touchdown on the last play of the game. We got to go. Like, do y'all really think that's what's happening? But there's people that are like, man, these games are rigged. There's no way that happened. He could have just did this. I'm just like, bro, I can't have conversation with those guys. I'm just like, hey, man, all I'm gonna say is, in all my years, I never got contacted by the guy that calls the shots.
the mafioso.
Whoever he is, I never got contacted by him in all my years. So I wasn't in on any other scheme. I
So
wasn't
you're
in
not.
on.
You're telling me you're not in the Illuminati?
I'm not in the Illuminati.
Yeah, I can't have conversation with those people either because they're not realists. But I do, and we spoke on this before the last time we talked. So you guys probably check out that interview after this. But I do think the refs sometimes have some hand in it, and I don't know if it's like from mistaking or like what. It's just sometimes some consistently like just bad calls, man.
See, and that's the thing. Like, so refs and players are different, right?
Yeah,
Refs and players are different because this is my thing as when you talk about refs. To me, refs grew up just like everybody else, right? They were little kid at one point, they were toddler, they were adolescent, they were a teenager, they were high schooler,
and now they're
they were in
blind.
college, so that guy that grew up as a super Dallas Cowboy fan or a super San Francisco 49er fan, just because he got a license or a certificate that he can be a referee doesn't mean he's not still a Dallas Cowboy fan. Doesn't mean he's not still a New Orleans Saints fan. Now, they're going to try to call the game as fair as possible. But I think if it comes down to 50-50 calls that could be made, couldn't be made, I do feel like a lot of times, a ref they may side with how they feel. If I got a ref that, he played more physical when he played, he's probably going to be that ref that let you play a little tougher in the backfield, right? He probably not going to call as many PIs and stuff like that because he like being physical. I think the thing that you run into is not consistent across the league.
Yeah.
Right. Last week I was able to get away with this. This week you calling me for PI. Like, what's going on? Yeah, right. So now we're going off of, well, this guy thought you were holding. This guy didn't think I was holding. So how do players make that adjustment? Because it affects ball games, right? I mean, you can look at just what happened in the NFC Championship game, right? There's plenty of times where it looked like Green Bay was getting held, right? Devontae Adams, a couple different guys. Plenty of times looked like they were grabbing, tugging jerseys and hold them, and they didn't get a call. On the last play of the game, Buddy grabs Buccaneer jersey. They get a call and give them the first down. The game is over, right?
Yeah, that was rough.
So now it's like, okay, well, that's tough, And like, you also got to think about this. Like, if I was a referee, I would never really want to be like the deciding factor in a game like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is basically the play of the game, and I'm going to basically end the game for the Green Bay Packers because I'm gonna call holding and give them a free first down. Right. So you got to think about this type of stuff. And like I said, and I do feel like, because we've seen referees, get caught up in stuff like that, right? Because refs are human. So I'm not saying that there may not be a situation where a single ref or somebody could try to do certain things to throw a game. I'm talking about how they try to make it seem like the players are in on the throwing of games. And that's what I don't understand. Even when it comes to basketball, I'm like, dude, it doesn't matter how they drew it up. He still had to hit the shot. Like, he still had to shoot it from half court and make it. That's not a guaranteed type of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, but like I said, I feel like refs, they could affect games in that way. Like I said, for me personally, I might be like, hey, man, this is a game on the line. Unless they tackle Buddy, I ain't calling no flag. Period. I'm gonna let them duke it out. You know what I'm saying? If he tug your jersey a little bit, hey, man, y'all been playing all game. This the game to go to the Super Bowl. I ain't sending you to the Super Bowl because I call a little tug on the jersey. No, I'm not doing it. That's just me. The other guy may not feel that way. He might be like, hey, I'm going to call it exactly how it is. I saw tug a jersey, so he tugged the jersey. But you can call illegal. You can call illegal contact every single play on the secondary because you're technically not supposed to touch them after 5 yards. So every single play, somebody gets touched after 5 yards. So if I'm a referee and I really want the other team to get a first down, I could call illegal contact every single play.
Yeah, and that's how I feel sometimes too. Because like, I don't know if you watched. I think it was last year. No, it was the year before that. Us versus Green Bay, and we had that really weird holding call on Trey Flowers. You know what I'm saying, the way he was just dipping into my man's shoulder pad, they called it a face mask because he was pushing him back so far. But it's like and that's twice we've seen the game. So obviously, it's been happening all game. Why just choose to call it those 2 times? You know,
Right.
it's weird. I wish they can get penalized, like fined almost, like players do. But then maybe they start leaning towards the Illuminati or the guy to get some extra bread. Like it's weird, man.
Like I said, I think just as players, you just wanted to be consistent, consistent across the board. If this is how we're gonna play, this is how we're gonna play. Because it used to be like that with like uniform guys. I mean, I'm sure you guys have heard or whatever, but people get fined all types of things for like uniform violations, and
Yeah,
it's like, well, my guy, I've been wearing the same thing every single week. I wear the same exact thing every single week, and it just so happened when I come to your stadium, you tell me I can't. Like, why can't I wear it? Like, I wore it last week, I wore it the week before. Like, well, nah, you can't wear that. What do you mean, right? Because if they want any, what they want is everybody to dress like the NFL mannequin that they send out. And my whole thing is, you're either gonna hold everybody to the same standard and we all have to dress that way, or you can't find me for dressing a little different if everybody else is dressing different. Just because I might show a little more white in my socks or a little more blue in my socks, none of us are wearing a generic sock. So what makes you find me and not, and I remember my rookie year. I remember my rookie year, man. I had got a fine. I was appealing it. I was on a call with Merton Hanks. And Merton Hanks was like, because I was trying to basically say the same thing. Like, dude, I wore it last week, I wore it the week before, and I didn't get fined. Why I get fined this time? So he tried to say, hey, do you speed when you drive? I was like, sometimes, yeah. He's like, do you get a ticket every time? I was like, nah, police might not see me sometime. You know what I'm saying? He's like, well, that's kind of how this is. And I'm sitting there like, no, it ain't like this. I said, because at the end of the day, if I'm speeding, if a police is out clocking, right, and I'm speeding, every time I pass him, he gonna pull me over, right? Now,
yeah,
if I'm on the highway speeding and the police is not there, they don't see me. Obviously, he can't pull me over. But if I pass a police who's on the side of the road clocking people, if I'm speeding, he's gonna cut the lights on. I said, so that's kind of how it is. You got uniform guys at every single game. It's not like, hey, we didn't even have them at these last 2 or 3 games, so that's why you got away with it those last 3 games. But this game, he was there, so it wasn't right. No, you got guys there every single game. So why are you just not finding me? Or why does this guy get me and not that guy? So I think as players, you just want to be, consistent. If you're gonna call it, call it. If you're not, then don't call it. Don't call it when it benefits you or when it doesn't benefit. Like, don't do that. Like, it is what it is. If you're gonna put a rule in, say legal contact is anything past 5 yards, well, then that's what it got to be.
yeah.
Or nothing at all.
It is weird and it's really sticky because I don't know how you correct it. Like, do you correct it with finding them, or do you think that just leads to like them finding money other ways?
Well, I think it's very difficult as a referee because it's kind of like, I think it's really difficult with anybody that gets caught cheating, right? It's hard to trust them. So if I'm a referee and you get busted for a fine for, whatever is, if you find out that that's what they were doing, obviously they can't be a part of the game. But what do you say? Like, hey, we were watching this call from New York, and you should have made this call and you didn't, so we're gonna fine you. Well, now you're taking out the human side of being a referee. right? I'm a human, just like everybody else. In live action, this is what it looked like to me. So that's why I made the call, or that's why I didn't make the call. So I think it's very tricky situation, very, 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 very difficult situation um, to handle. I really don't know. I just think you run into the human element of people being fans of teams, people being fans of different players, and sometimes you just be on the bad side of it.
Yeah, I know as Lions. I mean, you know, I spoke on it. We
Yeah,
always kind of
we're
on
gonna be
that
on the
side.
bad side of it a lot.
Yeah, man. I did originally hit you up for the Super Bowl. I know we've been talking. I'm gonna keep you too long. I apologize if I kept you too long already, but we spoke on Tom Brady earlier in the year. We like what we expect from him leaving Belichick or not. You surprised to see him in the Super Bowl, and who you expecting to win?
No, I'm not surprised to see Tom in the Super Bowl. I mean, it's not like Tom left New England and went to New York Jets. He went to Tampa. They already had a good young team, good defense. They already had 2 Pro Bowl wide receivers. They added another one in Antonio Brown. They added a first round running back and Leonard Fournette. So I mean, it's not like he's playing on you know a horrible team. He got a you know Super Bowl quarterback. I mean, coach Bruce Arians. Like Tom went to a great situation. So I mean, I'm not surprised that he's in the Super Bowl right now. Um, I don't think they'll win it. I think the Chiefs will still win it. But it's cool to see, what Tom has done, and you know,
It's crazy to me, man.
it's crazy. It's crazy how he did it. He did it. You got to give it to him. He did it. But
Hmm.
it's not surprising.
Yeah, he one of them dudes, man. I feel like if you, it's so frustrating to me too, man. Because like, I feel like you put him in like certain like quarterback drills to see like skill set and stuff like that. He's not gonna come out on top. But what he does consistently is win. He's always been a part of like winning like, organizations and just winning teams. I don't know what it is. Like, is there? Can you explain that at all to me and like other people? Because I couldn't tell you the number one skill set Tom Brady has.
Right. I mean, that's really how it is, man. Like I said earlier, it's about systems and it's about schemes, right? He got put in the right system early in his career, and he thrived off of it, and he was able to be very successful. I mean, imagine if he didn't get drafted by the Patriots and he got drafted by another team that
The
ran a
Lions.
different type of offense. You know, it could be totally different for Tom, but he got put in the right system. Um, and that's, scouting. The Patriots made the right choice. They felt like he could be what they were wanting, and he turned into that. They never needed a very mobile quarterback. I mean, Drew Bledsoe wasn't mobile. So that wasn't what they needed. They wanted somebody smart, somebody that could be a leader, somebody that can control the team, and that's what Brady was with his personality. And that he fit right what they needed. And so he was able to have, like I said, success early, and had some good players around him early, and you learn how to win. And once you do that, as you get older, you had all those experiences. Now you know how to win, you've learned how to win, and you can put that on everybody else because they respect you as a winner. you know they respect you as a winner, and when you come in and you working just as hard or harder, it you know people people will follow. And that's the one thing Brady has done. And so, like I said, going to Tampa, did the same thing. And so, like I said, he didn't go to awful team. He went to a good team that needed a quarterback, and he delivered. And I think that's kind of what you're seeing with the Rams right now. They probably feel like we got a lot of pieces. We just need a quarterback, and they probably hoping Stafford can come and deliver.
Yeah. It this one, if you gotta get going at all, or am I holding you up?
I'm good.
All right. This one, selfishly, little pity jab at my man in comments here, real quick. But how much of a blame do quarterbacks hold though when stuff does go wrong? Because they do touch the ball every single play. They can't change audibles. They could change stuff to, like run plays and stuff like that. Like, and again, this is me getting that Luke G. That's what I'm calling him out right now. It's my boy though. But
But
would you say that's the most important position though, like on the football team, or
well,
who
yeah,
they?
you got to have a quarterback. If you don't have a quarterback, you can't win. But at the end of the day, and that's another thing that I kind of get. I don't want to say upset with, but I kind of have players' backs because every system is not the same. Like just because you look at one quarterback and you see him out there changing plays, that doesn't mean that every system is like that. Some
Yeah,
quarterbacks don't have the freedom to just audible and change plays to whatever they want to call. But most fans might assume, oh, he's seen it was blitzing off the edge. He should just change the play. A lot of times it's not that easy because the coaches or the play they don't have that same freedom.
mm-hmm.
Right. Sometimes you get very egotistical coaches and they want to call the play. And so they don't want to give you, the freedom to play the game and see things and change the plays. Because then what do you need me for? If you're just gonna
Yeah,
change all the plays that I call as an offensive coordinator, why do you need an offensive coordinator? So a lot of
yeah,
times you don't really get to change. You might can go from this side to that side, but you don't really get to change your plays until you've built good relationship with your coaches. They understand you, they trust you, they know, you know, that we're saying the same things and they give you that freedom to change plays. And I think, you know, that was one thing about Stafford. If you look at Stafford, in my opinion, when he was in controlled situations, I don't feel like he thrived as much. When Stafford got in situations where we were down, hey, we're going hurry up, spread offense. Stafford, you just like whatever, gunsling, he was at his best, right? That's what
yeah.
he loved. That's what Stafford was. Spread
So
him out,
rhythm type dude.
let Stafford do his thing. When you try to control him and hey, you're gonna do this, we want to do this. Sometimes that's not what's best for you know, certain players. And I felt like Stafford always thrived better to me when he was in no huddle, hurry up, spread, do your thing. End of the game, 2-minute drive, do your thing. To me.
Yeah, yeah. The conversation obviously came up with us with Lions fans, because they always people harp on the QB stat thing, and I get the end result of a win loss is, and this it ain't even a QB stat thing. These guys getting at me in the comments trying to get me to ask that stupid question. I ain't gonna ask that dumb question. But I guess the level of blame does more of that fall on the quarterback though, because like in a Stafford situation, like who you gonna bench? You gonna bench Stafford for who? You know what I'm saying? Like you really about to just, if he called an audible, you really about to bench Matthew Stafford and put in, no disrespect to Chase Daniel, but like Chase Daniel, like you know.
Yeah.
And I feel you, man. I'm gonna put you in that type of situation. But you
No,
got
I'm just
the
saying that's what like I said, that's what fans would say or think. Like, man, Stafford can just do that, man. Like, what are they gonna do? They're gonna bench him? No, they ain't gonna bench him. But that's the respect factor between players and coaches. If Stafford gets out there and just start doing his own thing, how does that like how does that look far as the relationship between players and coaches? Because the other players are gonna know because everybody on the offensive side know, hey, this is our system. We don't really change stuff. So if Stafford get out there just doing his thing, they're gonna be like, man, Stafford don't even be listening to the offensive coordinator, man. Stafford do what he want to do. So now as a player, I'm gonna be the same way. Hey man, offensive coordinator said this, and that, bump that, man. Stafford gonna do what he want to do in the game. So I ain't even listening to the offensive coordinator. I'm gonna do what Stafford say. Right?
yeah,
You change the whole coach player relationship. And then that's when coaches get fired because now the head coach is like, you don't even have control of your own guys. You know, that's when you saw seeing some coaches get fired because they be like, the owners be like, well, they lost the locker room. Yeah, yeah. The players don't even respect you anymore. You're done. You know.
put a
So
fork in him.
Yep.
Well, man, I appreciate you coming on. Do you want me? Do you want me to let the people in the comments ask any questions? You got to get going. What do you got going on?
I think I was supposed to be somewhere at 5:30.
All right, I'm gonna let you go then. I do appreciate you taking the time. And if you're looking for teammates, you know what I'm saying, for the DB room stuff, I'm here, baby. You know what I'm saying?
You know what, man? I might have to do something, man. Because like I said, I do kind of want to get it back going, man. But I got to put my team together.
Hey,
I got to put
I'm
my
here
team
for it,
together.
man.
I appreciate you, man.
I appreciate you. I'll let you get going on that one then.
All right, man.
Thanks, GQ.
Yes, sir.
GQ is the man. Man, I always appreciate talking to him. It's the wealth of knowledge. I feel like he's so much more intellectual. It's just weird, man. You see some people talk football, and I don't know if it's because they're on a national, like television and stuff like that, so they have to keep it like basic for other people to understand and whatnot. But I feel like when it's GQ, and I don't know if it's because he has the freedom to be on the internet to kind of say what he wants and do what he wants and stuff like that. But it's just it seems so much more knowledgeable to a point where like I almost get lost in it. Like if you guys haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the DB room. Hopefully him and I work something together. I might be able to get him on to speak easy. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, that'd be pretty dope. But he just goes real deep, man. He's getting into coverages and whatnot, and just aspects of the game that we really never take into. I'm sorry, I read some of these comments. We never take into consideration with cover twos and stuff like that. Someone said dumbass question. That's B Taylor. Beats are all kinds of drama yesterday, man. Now we're on your head, Eazy. Say it. QB wins aren't a stat. We didn't talk about that, man. QB wins are a stat. Well, I don't. That will never be. That'll be a losing argument 7 days out of the week because it's a stat. Like it. That's my whole point on that one. Like it's a stat that exists. You can't say it's not a stat. If it's a stat you don't like, fine, say that. But you can't say it's not a stat, man. Dolo said, "Now go get Calvin." Look, man, I got sights on him, but I didn't want to pull the trigger until we hit the 1K. We hit the 1K, but I just feel like we just need some more people here, man. Because like, there's a lot of questions people asked me to ask while we were live just now, but I had already asked them. We had a whole interview. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to like get these big names on, and like no one watches them. You know what I'm saying? I want to make sure there's an audience here for them. I really do appreciate you, GQ, taking the time. We do always be bullshitting too, man. He'd be like, "Yeah, come on, like we probably run like 30, 40 minutes, and we always am going like an hour, hour 20 and whatnot." So I always feel bad, but I do appreciate him you reaching out. I mean, you heard him say it. He got people who reach out, and sometimes he says no, he just don't feel like it. But on the speak easy, it's the second time around, so he obviously fucks with us, and I hope you guys fuck with us too. Please hit the like button because the more likes on this one, the more people come, the more bigger names I'm gonna get. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be able to get the Calvin Johnson. I'm gonna be able to. We might have a running back, a Detroit Lions running back. I ain't gonna tell y'all who, but maybe I will tell y'all who. If y'all get on him on Twitter or Instagram, whatever. DeAndre Swift. We've been in talks having him on. We're just trying to get past the management part. Hopefully get him on, get his take on his first rookie year. I'll get Fitz Vegas on the show. I don't know who that is. What about Barry? I do not have no sights on Barry, but that would have been fucking crazy if I got Barry. I probably not even prepared to speak to Barry Sanders, honestly. Because I'm so, come on now. Get Frank Ragnow, that'd be fire. That'd be dope too. I think GQ lives up to his name. GQ, smooth, facts, real, and true, brother. No cap. That's facts, man. GQ is a brilliant man. I really wish that I got to ask him if he's gonna end up coaching something like that. Because it feels like he has that type of mind, right? He's just so damn smart, man. Like I said, I don't even feel prepared to talk to him about football sometimes. It's a whole nother level of brilliance when it comes to that shit. I should have been talking to him about Akuda too, but I know he still got relationships with some of these dudes too, man. He shows the channel respect. Thank you, man. Everybody here too, man. If you guys hit that like button, I really, really appreciate it. If you're on Twitch, if you're on Facebook, just hit the follow, whatever kind of like button there is for that too. But I'll probably wrap this one up unless somebody wants to hop in. Yeah, I'm probably actually gonna wrap this one up actually. So unless y'all want to hop in, let me know. I'll answer a few questions too. If you get Swift on here, oh my God, you earn the title as the GOAT. Man, I've been the GOAT. Let's keep it real. Matter of fact, I've been the fucking GOAT at this shit. I see Liddy my bitch ass in here trying to start some shit. Fuck you too. You know what I'm saying? You trying to be somebody you trying to be. Nigga, I'm the fucking GOAT. You ain't had Glover Quin in your shit. Fuck you, Liddy, my shitty mob. Nigga in here trying to start shit with my fam. Man, what? Nigga, what? We turning up now. Now, I've been the GOAT, though. Definitely trying to get DeAndre Swift. Who at 7? Go Lions ass. Lou, go ahead, hop in, man. I'll send it. I'll send you the link. See, the front end is trying to fix a relationship with CJ81. Yo, that was actually a question we had last night on the a messy roundtable, but roundtable nonetheless. And if that's the case, then we really might be trying to turn the page, man, which would be dope. Luke, I just sent the link. Send that shit to Devin, too. This man's put on the GOAT mask. I am the fucking GOAT, man. Had that bitch ass nigga here earlier talking about, I'm not going to talk like that in GQ stream, but just in here trying to start stuff, man. It was crazy. Now I don't even know you coming after me. Mad because he got muted because he in here trying to start shit. We going off that Eazy juice. We turned up now. It's a victory. Devin and I claim me the GOAT. Nah, I don't know. That's who it is. I don't really have no beef with nobody, bro. I really don't give a fuck. Like, this is the internet, bro. I don't know why people talk tough on the internet. It's crazy to me. But Barry would be epic. That shit would be crazy. You heard we hired a few more assistant coaches. I did see another defensive dude. Man went to Chuck E. Cheese and robbed the GOAT mask. Goddamn right. When he took it off, you know who was in it? Liddy Mob, broke ass. No, I'm playing. What up, though, Luke?
Hey, what's going on, man? Listen, first of all, just shout out to you because, like I said, it's a good interview. Don't muddy up what just happened and that greatness with this extra stuff. Chop that out. Let's get back to focus, man, and talk football. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
You know, one it's an amazing to have him come on and to give all this inside information that you would never get. And you know, I'm a big believer in if you pay attention to body language and what a person say, it tells you everything you need to know. A lot of the questions that you asked him, he could have simply gave you a straight answer like yeah, no, but he elaborated and went into details about all these other things, you know, where you're talking about you know, we were talking about those little small things. He was even willing to indulge in the conspiracy that is the NFL and the rigness and stuff like that. And I enjoyed it. I had fun as I made my way into the house with my children, listening to it. And I just, like I said, man, don't muddy that up. Don't muddy that up with nothing else.
Yeah, I know. I like talking my shit. You know what I'm saying? That's my bad. I should have done that. Hey, shout out to Devin, the Habib here. You already know.
But let me ask you this though: did you see the face he made when you said about the blame? And
it was because all right. So look, the way that question came out though, it was all like the question came out in cursive, bro. You know what I'm saying?
He ought enough to know what cursive is, so we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna act like he caught it off guard.
Well, because I almost asked a dumbass question. Our QB wins a stat. Like that's a dumbass question. Like of course it's a stat.
No. You asked him about the blame. You asked him about what level of blame, and he just was like, because he understands.
I almost transitioned it into QB win because I was reading the comments as I was saying it. I'm saying so. The question came off weird. That's why he hit me with the because I asked like 2.5 questions in one. You know what I'm saying?
No, but I'm just saying the moment you asked him about the blame, he looked like the face and his mouth like the blame. You was like
the level.
I mean, because what you said was this. You said what they gonna do? Bench Stafford? He was like, yeah, like yeah.
No, he said they want to bench him, but he said it was a respect thing between you know saying the leader and the coach, and then how's it supposed to?
Man, listen, Eazy. Easy. Go back listen to your stream, bro. He said, yeah, when you asked that question, he said, yeah. And then he hits you with this one. He said, listen, man, you can't have this guy. You know, you can't have this guy calling his own stuff. What's the point of the offensive coordinator? Who wants to come here and coach when the guy is going rogue and going unchecked? Now you're losing the respect of everybody. And I'm like, thank you. Stop this noise, man. Stop this belief. Like when he said, yeah, everybody think that he the quarterback, he get the chance to play. I'm like, thank you. Joey Harrington came out and said when he got here, he was told by the coaching staff, he didn't name him, he just said by the coaching staff, and you can pretty much figure out who that is. He was told by the coaching staff not to audible. And he told them, but if I don't audible, they're going to send a blitz off of this edge, and I ain't got no time to throw it. And he was told, make it happen. Make it happen. Come on, dog. We got to stop blaming these quarterbacks, bro. We on quarterback. Let me see. Stafford was the 17th starter. This the 18th. Yeah, we already blaming Goff, and he didn't take a snap.
I wish I didn't fumble the question because there's definitely a level of blame that falls more so on a quarterback than anywhere else. But true respect, but there was no backup for replacement. Yeah. But shit, Luke, I wanna dive into this a little bit. You know what I'm saying? A little easy juice, and I gotta get up back to being a dad too. I've been down here.
Man, yeah, you know. I just want to get on. Give you your kudos, man. My hats off to you. Like I said, I love it when you get 1-on-1 with the players and not afraid to ask certain questions and do it respectfully. So keep it going, man. Never muddy up your product with outside noise, bro. Never do it. Just let outside noise stay outside. It's the reason why you in the penthouse and they outside trying to figure out how to get through the window.
That's facts, man. I should have did what I did, but I'm not mad. I did it. Damn it.
Hey, that's a great thing called editing. You can edit that out and repost, bro. You good.
Yeah, I got a question on that because I went to edit last night, and when I was done editing the stuff, I hit save. It says save as new. Like I was gonna post a new video. Is that what? Have you?
No, what it should have did was it was save as new. Well, yeah, it will. It's basically going to like re-update it. So anybody who left comments and stuff, it would have came off. But like I said, man, some things is better. Some things is better for the better, bro. It is what it is. Like I said, people respect what you're doing. People see what you're doing. I respect what you're doing. It's a reason why you are in the DSA. It's a reason why we support you. Why other people support you. Just keep doing it. And like I said, don't never muddy the water up. When you got tropical water going and people want to swim in the swamp, let them swim in the swamp, bro. Don't get caught up in that.
Yeah. I'm totally straight, bro. I'll be clowning and shit sometimes too. Like when I talk my shit, I'm half-ass serious. Like I said, it's the internet, bro. Like fucking, it's just I think it's all funny. That's why I went and put on a mask and did it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I understand, man. I understand. Well, as always, man. Salute. I'm going back to do being dead right now because my youngest one took that diaper off and it's getting real. So I'm out.
All right, Luke. All right, everybody. Thanks for tapping in. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Hey, share this thing, man. Share it. Obviously, with some juice dropped in here. Make sure you subscribe too, because if you guys joined into the interview late and you missed some of the sauce he was dropping earlier, because GQ is great at just dropping knowledge. You know what I'm saying? I always learn and take away stuff from him. I come away motivated, real shit. But I'm about to clip some of the subjects that we talked about. If you guys got specific things you thought would make a good clip, please reach out to me. We are on Instagram and Twitter at Speakeasy Sports _ I'll put it on the screen right quick. And then shit, I'll probably head out this one, man. I appreciate you guys again though for tapping in. There's the Instagram handle, Twitter handle. Oh yeah. Oh, y'all already know. If y'all new here too, there's probably not too many new people here. I don't know who's new or not, but
it's easy. Speak easy, baby.
You know what I'm saying? We do this. That's why we still goat mask. But make sure you guys follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and please holler at me too if you guys want certain clips, whatever parts might make a good clip to you. You guys want certain guests, please holler at me. Those are 2 social media platforms. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. We're way more active on Instagram than anything else. So make sure you hit us up on the gram. And if you guys want to see who's ever coming up next, it's always post on there as well. But shout out to y'all. We out. We out this motherfucker.